Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So, guys, you've probably heard the news that Gervonta Davis on Twitter has said that, he's going to leave Floyd Money Mayweather. This is not surprising. I think a lot of people, look, it's not been confirmed, but he said that, on Twitter that he's only got one fight left on the contract with Floyd. And that's with Rolly Romero. I believe that's the situation. So it looks like Gervonta Davis is going to leave Floyd Mayweather. And you know what? I think this was on the cards for a while. This was something that I think was going to happen. I think Gervonta Davis had made his feelings known before, but now I think it's come to a point where I think obviously he knows that, maybe his time with Mayweather is up. Now, the thing is, a lot of people are saying that Floyd was holding his career back. Floyd was getting him to fight guys in the house, and that's probably true. And maybe Floyd was holding his career back. Gervonta Davis hasn't fought anybody really of note. If you look at Gervonta Davis's career, it's kind of gone down, like, in the sense he's not really fought any top tier guys. And I think this would probably be the best thing, because what Gervonta Davis should do is become a free agent. Or Gervonta Davis should maybe join Eddie Hearn, or maybe, just become a free agent, because I think everybody would want Gervonta Davis on their platform. Now, the only thing is with Gervonta Davis is he isn't as big a star as Canelo Alvarez, so he won't be able to demand like Canelo can. And that's the issue. Floyd hasn't developed him or managed to make him a huge superstar. Although there'll be a lot of promoters looking to offer him a deal without question if he does leave Mayweather. There is definitely other promoters that are going to be coming in and offering him big money. Thing is with Floyd Mayweather was a great, unique fighter, great fighter. But really, if you look at it in terms of his promotional side of things, he hasn't really been that great in terms of the way he's built up Gervonta Davis. I think it's got to a point now where people wanted to see Gervonta step up, and we haven't really got that fight. We haven't really got a fight which, the fans are excited about. When was the last time you were excited for a Gervonta Davis fight? Probably never really. And it's time now where I think Gervonta Davis needs to take control of his own career and start fighting the best. Now, I thought their relationship was on the mend, but now this on Twitter has become like a kind of like a time bomb, in the sense that, wow, the things aren't that great with them. And it looks like maybe Gervonta's wanting out, and does it surprise me? Probably not. That's just the way modern, modern boxing is. Guys want to be free agents. They want to do their own thing. And Floyd Mayweather, had a plan for Gervonta Davis. Maybe Davis didn't like that plan, or he certainly didn't like that plan, because obviously it seems like that he's going to leave after his contract, or after his fight against Rolly Romero. He's going to do what Terence Crawford did and leave. Terence Crawford left Top Rank, but it looks like Gervonta will leave Floyd. I think for the better. Personally, I think for the better. I don't think Floyd Mayweather, in my opinion, in the last couple of years have done Gervonta justice in terms of the fights that he's got him. I'm pretty sure Gervonta probably getting paid good money, but good money at this point in Gervonta's career is not what he needs. He needs big fights. He needs, look, the only way you get exposure in this game is fighting the best, and he's not doing that. Gervonta under Mayweather is not doing that. They're fighting guys that are second tier guys that they can get hold of, and that to me is no good. That to me, Gervonta Davis needs to be fighting top tier guys back to back. He needs to be fighting top competition, and he hasn't been doing that for a very long time now. So I think this is probably the right move. Definitely the right move for him to maybe leave Floyd Mayweather and look to pursue his career with maybe somebody else, or maybe as a free agent, because like I said, I think with the Mayweather situation, it's not worked out. I don't think Mayweather's been able to build Gervonta into the star that he was, and that's impossible to do. And also, when Floyd Mayweather's not a big promoter, he hasn't got a lot of fighters. So his crown jewel is Gervonta Davis. And sometimes you want to protect that jewel because you feel like that's going to be your cash cow. That's going to be what where you're going to make your future money from. You're going to make a lot of money from that particular fighter in Gervonta Davis, because like I said, Floyd hasn't got a lot of fighters. He had Badu Jack, but I don't know what's gone off with Badu Jack. I don't know where he is. He's not as relevant anymore as he used to be back in the day. But that's what it seems like to me. It seems like Floyd was really protective of Gervonta Davis, and Davis kind of got a bit frustrated where he felt like he wants these big fights, whereas I think Floyd was kind of protecting him because Floyd didn't want him to take a loss. But Gervonta, like I said before, Gervonta always wanted a fight. Gervonta wasn't ducking or dodging or avoiding anyone. Gervonta wanted to fight everyone and everybody. It's just the fact that Floyd Mayweather was, protected because, like I said, you would be, right? You would be. If that's your only star, you don't want him to take a loss. Floyd didn't want him to take a loss, and that's what it was. But it comes down to where I think Gervonta is kind of saying enough's enough. I need to take my career into my own hands. I want to fight the guys that I want to fight and basically do what Canelo did. But look, he might be able to do that under another promoter. He may, let's see how this all plays out. I hope Gervonta Davis does get the fights that, I feel he deserves, because look, he is a good fighter, very good fighter, one that I'm excited about. And this might be the making of Gervonta Davis, because let's not forget, Gervonta Davis is 27. He's not old. He's in his prime. So this is the time where he's got to strike and show us how good he really is. And the only way he's going to do that is by fighting the best. So I really hope Gervonta Davis gets the fights he wants. I really like Davis. I think he's a very good fighter. And it's kind of sad for Mayweather, because Mayweather's probably now going to dart out the promotion. If he loses Gervonta Davis, he hasn't really got anybody. And is anyone going to work with Mayweather? Like, I know it's Floyd Mayweather, and Mayweather's name in boxing holds he's a huge name, but really as a promoter, I don't think he's been that great personally. I know he says that, we know how to build stars, but the only star, Leonard Ellaby says we know how to build stars, but the only star they built was Floyd. Like, Floyd was a superstar in his own right. He was a unique character, but not everyone's going to be like Floyd. You're not going to be able to build everyone to be like Floyd. And a lot of the fights, like a lot of the guys that, were under Floyd, the reason why they had so much attention was because of Floyd. Badu Jack, for example, I feel like Floyd helped his profile. Gervonta Davis, Gervonta Davis is a star in his own right in terms of he's a very exciting guy to watch, and no matter where he goes. But I definitely think Floyd attaching his name with him definitely helped Gervonta Davis grow a bigger profile. And now Gervonta Davis is his own man in his own right. But I think it's come to the point in Gervonta's career where he's kind of starting to stagnate. He's not going anywhere. His career's not going anywhere, and he's fighting, like I said, second tier guys, and he really needs to fight the best. In order for Gervonta Davis to grow, and in order for Gervonta Davis to prove and create a legacy, he needs to fight better guys than what he's been fighting. And unfortunately, the guys that he's been fighting just aren't good enough and are not top tier guys. They're not guys that, Gervonta should be fighting. Gervonta should be fighting top draw guys. And unfortunately, that's not been happening. So for Gervonta's sake, I hope, Gervonta can get the fights he wants, and we as fans can get the fight we want. Because let's be honest, we want to see Gervonta Davis against George Kambosos. We want to see Gervonta Davis against Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney against Lomachenko. We want to see Gervonta Davis against Josh Taylor, Jack Cattrall, like all these type of guys, Regis Prograis. That's what we want to see Gervonta Davis in with. We don't want to see Gervonta Davis fight Isaac Cruz. Like, even though, no disrespect, Isaac Cruz is a really good guy, we don't want to see Gervonta Davis fight, these guys that he's been fighting, Rolly, and we don't want to see that. We don't want to see that. That's not, to me, that's not exciting. That's boring. That's not really, I don't care about those fights. Like that, those fights don't excite me. What does excite me is Gervonta Davis against George Kambosos, Ryan Garcia, Lomachenko, Teofimo. These are the fights that excite me. These are the fights that Gervonta should be having. Not the fights that he has been having. These are nothing fights. At this point in his career, Gervonta Davis hasn't had one marquee fight. At the age of 27, I'm pretty sure Floyd had quite a few. So why is Floyd holding... I didn't understand why Floyd was holding Gervonta Davis back. When the way Floyd became a star, he had no choice, by the way. The way Floyd became a star is by fighting the best, because Floyd wasn't a star. When he first came, he didn't have it easy. It was hard for him. Gervonta Davis had the backing of Floyd. He had Floyd's name attached to him, so it's a lot easier for Gervonta Davis to grow, and it was a lot easier for Gervonta Davis to get the big fights as well. Whereas for Floyd, it was harder because Floyd was building himself. Floyd was building his own star appeal. Gervonta Davis had a head start because he had Floyd with him, and Floyd was one of the biggest superstars in the boxing. So he had a massive head start, Gervonta Davis. But yet still, Floyd Mayweather, I personally believe, is because he doesn't want this guy to take a loss, because he feels like if he had taken a loss, his market value would have dropped massively, and that would have affected Gervonta Davis, the commercial mileage around Gervonta Davis, and Floyd probably didn't want that to happen, so Floyd was protecting him. But it's come to the point where Gervonta Davis, as a result of that, has probably got frustrated, and he's probably not renewing a contract with Floyd, because he's probably thinking, nah, if I'm going to renew a contract, I'm going to ruin my career. I need to now, don't get me wrong, and when I say ruin a career, I feel like Gervonta Davis has got a lot of talent and he should be fighting the top guys. But what I will say is this: Gervonta Davis came from nowhere and Floyd built him into where he's at today. So Floyd's got him to that level. So you have to respect that. I feel like there's no loyalty in boxing, because at the end of the day, it's your career. Even though Floyd got Gervonta to this level, at the end of the day, it's Gervonta's career, and he's got to take his career in his own hands. He can't rely on Floyd if he doesn't think that Floyd is steering his career in the right direction. Because Gervonta Davis now is at the point of his career where he's in his prime, he's at his peak. He needs to now get these big fights. If he doesn't get these big fights, his best years might pass him by. You don't want to become like Andrade, or you don't want to become like that, where your career kind of passes you by without fighting anybody. Gervonta Davis doesn't want to be like that. Gervonta Davis wants to be a guy that wants to fight everybody and fight the best and create a legacy like Floyd did. So yeah, hopefully, that Gervonta Davis gets the big fights. But guys, what do you make of this news that Gervonta Davis is going to leave Floyd Mayweather? Leave your thoughts, and guys, remember to please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.